You're watching the midday news on TVC. The Not Too Young to Run movement has given a 30-day ultimatum to the executive as well as the National and State Houses of Assembly to conclude on its constitutional amendment process. They say failure to conclude the process in due time may undermine the credibility of the upcoming 2019 general election. Founder, Evolve Africa Project, Ibrahim Owolabi, joins me now to talk more on this. 30 days, and it's already started counting. 3 days now.
Yes,
I mean, you
absolutely.
have just 27 days. If nothing happens, if nothing changes, what would be the next step of the movement?
Basically, we're looking at the president signing, and if nothing changes, we ask the National Assembly to veto the presidency. Because constitutionally, if Mr. President do not sign and put his accent rather to the bill and make it part of our law in Nigeria, the National Assembly through the Senate and the House of Representatives can veto Mr. President, because remember in July they voted for the bill, both at the upper and the lower chambers of the National Assembly. And if none of them work, we have the people, we have the mandate, we have the power. We're young people. Peacefully we'll mobilize ourselves and ask questions in the most interesting and intellectual way by agitating for what belongs to us. Because Not Too Young to Run is practically for engaging young people, nothing else.
Are you disappointed in Lagos State? When it comes to, because we know there's been...
Let me be clear about this. I've been working with the state government on this bill, particularly the State Assembly. And the last week, Wednesday, I was with the Chairman House Committee on Youth, Sports and Social Development, Honorable Damola Kasumo. Then we talked about the bill. It's currently pending in Lagos. But I was looking out for Lagos taking the bold step.
The lead.
Because Lagos is the center of excellence. In all honesty, I'm halfway not happy about this. Because 25 states voted already, Lagos is not part of it. And it's absolutely not friendly. You know, Lagos is a youth-friendly state, but when you're not talking about it, Not Too Young to Run, it's another indication that something somewhere is wrong. So, in our last communication, myself and the Chairman's Committee, and he told me they are resuming from recess by March 19th, and first and first, once they return, they will bring it to bear and talk about it. But it's still not okay. Lagos is supposed to play the tune direct to other states. Northern states, Southeast are now voting. So where is Lagos? Where is the Lagos agitation and all of those
Lagos spirit?
Exactly, the center of vibe and excellence. So in all honesty, I am not very much happy, but I am aware because my organization engaged the State Assembly last year, and we had a youth policy dialogue on the Not Too Young to Run with the Committee on Youth, Sports and Social Development. Then we're very sure that once they resume recess, they will look into the bill. If nothing happens and this comes to reality, there's something is wrong with Lagos.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, Lagos is moving forward.
Absolutely.
There's a particular state, when you look at that map, it's a state that's outrightly red, rejected the
Taraba.
bill. Taraba State said no to the bill. Do you think this might ever change?
Taraba has been indicted by Nigerian young people into the Hall of Shame because they have politicized the bill.
Do you want to say that again?
Absolutely, it's everywhere. You can check it up. Taraba is not, in my estimation, is not youth-friendly, because if you, as a state, you do not vote for the Not Too Young to Run, then what else are you going to vote for? Which means that they have politicized it. They don't see young people coming in. They've allowed personal sentiments to override the Nigerian interest, because young people of this country have the majority power. So if we do not see them as part of partners in democracy, then we're not moving.
And we also have a serving senator and former governor of Plateau State who said leadership is not for young people right now because they lack the experience to become leaders. So I'm sure in his heart, he's voting no to the bill.
People have rights to the expressions and viewpoints. The way you see the coin is not the way I'm going to see the coin. But there's something that brings all of us together, and that's inclusiveness. Advanced world have invested time, talent, and treasure in inclusiveness, diversity, because it brings about competitive development, and it becomes very juicy. Everyone is involved. We're all contributing to social development. So for that senator, a school of thought has influenced his perception, and it's allowed because remember I said we all have rights to our expressions and viewpoints. So we are saying we're the new generation, and Nigeria is moving. This country must move. So we're moving because young people must get involved.
2019, you mentioned that this would affect the elections. Help us understand how.
Yes, by the time Mr. President has signed the bill and it comes into law in part of the electoral reforms and the electoral law. It means that during primary, as within July, September, young people will have the opportunity to contest at party primaries. And if political parties are transparent with the primary level, it means some young persons will emerge. As long as the Congress is holding, and politics is about who gets what, when, and how. It's about the mobilization of your people, the numbers. So if as a young person, you can mobilize and your people are in for you. Once this come in, the Not Too Young to Run Bill is to give you access, to open the space for you. So no one is asking you, you can't because you're not up to this age. So when that access is open, you have a duty to now bring in all your arsenals and make it work so that you can contest and win.
A very impressive interview. Involve Africa Project founder Ibrahim Owolabi. We wish you the best. Thank you so much for coming on the broadcast.